there comes a moment when actions reveal the truth far louder than words ever could. A woman can sense when she is simply placed in the background of someone's life, and she can also feel when she becomes the centerpiece of a man's world. The difference is striking, subtle at times, yet undeniable. Understanding how men behave when a woman is merely an option versus when she is the one is not just about decoding behavior, it's about recognizing worth, discerning intention, and embracing the kind of love that does not leave room for doubt. When consistency is absent, everything feels uncertain. When a woman is merely an option, the energy is scattered, unpredictable, and tied to convenience. Calls may come, but only when boredom strikes or when there is nothing better to do. Messages are sent, but the timing is sporadic, sometimes hours late, sometimes ignored altogether. There is a rhythm, but it is unstable, like a song that skips and stutters. She is left to wonder where she stands, caught in a cycle of second guessing, reading between the lines and questioning if the silence means she did something wrong or if she was simply forgotten. This inconsistency breeds insecurity, not because she lacks self-worth, but because the behavior communicates that she is not a true priority. Yet the shift becomes undeniable when she is the one. Suddenly, consistency transforms into the very fabric of the connection. There is no guessing, no confusion, no need to analyze every message. The effort flows naturally. Calls are not made out of obligation, but from a genuine desire to hear her voice. Texts are not delayed for hours on end. They carry warmth and reliability. She feels seen not only in moments of joy, but also in the quiet spaces of ordinary days. The difference lies not in grand gestures, but in steady presence. A man who sees a woman as the one does not disappear when life becomes chaotic. He anchors himself even more firmly, ensuring she knows she remains at the center of his world. Consistency becomes the silent language of devotion. It is in the good morning texts, the follow-up calls, the way he shows up on time, and the way his actions align with his words. There is no need to chase, no need to question, because his energy is steady, unwavering, and sure. This reliability builds trust, a sense of safety, and a quiet confidence that she is not being entertained temporarily. She is being valued genuinely. When a man treats a woman as an option, his presence feels conditional, given only when convenient. But when she is the one, consistency becomes his way of saying without words, "You matter, you are worth my time, and I choose you every single day." Emotional openness is one of the clearest signs that separates being an option from being the one. When a woman is only seen as an option, the connection feels surface level. Conversations rarely move beyond the shallow waters of casual chatter, how the day went, what's trending, or what's convenient to share. He avoids exposing his deeper feelings, fears, or insecurities because the bond is not built on trust or long-term vision. Vulnerability, in this case, feels like too much of a risk. She is kept at arm's length, never truly invited into the inner world, as if there is an invisible wall guarding the heart. This emotional distance may leave her feeling shut out, sensing that something is missing. Even if on the surface everything seems fine, she may laugh, spend time, and share moments with him, but the bond lacks depth, the kind that roots itself in truth and authenticity. But when she is the one, that wall begins to crumble. Suddenly, emotions are no longer hidden behind a mask of control or casual distance. Instead, there is a willingness to be seen completely and honestly. He shares not only the triumphs, but also the struggles, the doubts that weigh on him, the fears that linger, and the dreams that stretch far into the future. Vulnerability no longer feels like weakness. It feels like trust. And this trust deepens the connection, transforming it from something temporary into something lasting. A man who sees a woman as the one doesn't just let her into his mind, he lets her into his heart. She becomes the safe space where he can lay down the weight he carries. He speaks differently, with more intention, with more depth. Silence between them no longer feels uncomfortable, it feels sacred. The way he looks at her holds more honesty, as if he is unafraid of being fully known. Emotional availability becomes the bridge that allows intimacy to flourish, a bond that feels real and unshakable. When she is just an option, emotions are guarded. The connection remains shallow, and she is kept outside the deeper chambers of his life. But when she is the one, the walls drop, and in that openness, love finds its purest form, raw, vulnerable, and unafraid of being seen. Time and energy reveal everything. When a woman is simply an option, her place in his life is squeezed into the empty corners, the leftovers of his schedule. She is fit in only when it's easy, when there is nothing more pressing, nothing more exciting, nothing more urgent. Plans are often last minute, casual, and easily cancelled. She notices how often she is placed after everything else. Work, friends, distractions, even boredom. It feels as if she is always waiting for a moment to be noticed, rather than being someone he intentionally makes time for. This lack of investment sends a silent but powerful message: you are here for convenience, not priority. But when a woman is the one, time and energy are no longer rationed, they are willingly poured into her. He doesn't just fit her in. He makes room for her. Even in the busiest of days, she finds herself woven into the rhythm of his life. The effort is visible in small things: a quick message between meetings, an evening carved out despite exhaustion, a weekend planned not because it's expected, but because he truly wants to share it with her. He chooses to invest not just his spare moments, but his best moments. And in that choice, she feels the undeniable weight of her importance. Energy, too, tells a story. When she is only an option, his energy is half-hearted, distracted, easily pulled away. She may sit across from him, yet feel that his attention is elsewhere. Conversations lack presence, gestures feel obligatory. But when she is the one, energy becomes intentional. He listens with focus, responds with care, and brings his full self into the moment. Even in the smallest interactions, she feels his devotion. The way he looks at her, the way he remembers her words, the way he shows up in both joyful and difficult times, this energy speaks louder than any declaration. Investment is not measured in grand gestures alone, it is seen in the daily commitment to show up. A woman can always sense where she stands by how much time and energy a man is willing to give. As an option, she is placed on the sidelines. As the one, she is not just part of his life, she becomes a central piece of it, where presence is constant, effort is intentional, and love is expressed through the most precious resources of all: time and energy. Respect is one of the clearest mirrors of how deeply a woman is valued. When she is only an option, respect often takes on a shallow form: polite words, a touch of charm, the kind of admiration that seems bright in the moment, but quickly fades when the mood shifts. Promises may be spoken, but rarely followed through. Boundaries might be crossed casually, as though her feelings are negotiable, as though her needs come second to convenience. She may be spoken to kindly at times, but actions carry a different story: forgetfulness, carelessness, or a disregard for what truly matters to her. In this space, respect is inconsistent, selective, and often overshadowed by self-interest. She notices the imbalance not in what is said, but in what is not done. But when she is the one, respect takes on a completely different tone. It is not just about words, it is lived, felt, and proven daily. Her boundaries are not only acknowledged, but honored. Her voice carries weight in conversations, her thoughts are not brushed aside, and her emotions are not minimized. He does not speak over her or dismiss her, but listens with the intent to understand. Respect is shown in the way he protects her dignity, whether in private moments or in public spaces. There is no belittling, no mocking, no careless disregard, only an effort to make her feel valued, safe, and seen. True respect also shows in admiration. When she is the one, he does not just appreciate her beauty, he admires her mind, her strength, her essence. He treats her as someone irreplaceable, someone to be cherished rather than taken for granted. Even in disagreements, the foundation of respect remains unshaken. He does not use harsh words to wound, nor does he dismiss her feelings in moments of conflict. Instead, respect guides him to handle differences with patience and care. A woman can always sense the difference. As an option, respect feels shallow, conditional, and often fleeting. As the one, respect becomes steady, deeply rooted, and unwavering. It is in the tone of his voice, the way he looks at her, the way he honors her presence without needing to be reminded. When a man truly sees her as the one, respect is not an occasional gesture. It is the constant language of how much she matters. When a woman is just an option, the future rarely enters the conversation. The connection stays fixed in the present moment, temporary, convenient, and designed for short-lived enjoyment. Plans are often vague, limited to "we'll see" or "maybe, sometime." He avoids speaking of next month, next year, or anything that suggests long-term stability. She may notice how carefully he sidesteps discussions about commitment, family, or shared goals. The relationship feels like a place to pass time rather than build a life. Though moments may be fun, there is a lingering emptiness because everything feels like it could end as easily as it began. But when she is the one, the perspective shifts entirely. Suddenly, the future is not something to avoid. It becomes something to embrace. She is included in his vision, woven into his plans, considered in his decisions. Conversations naturally expand into tomorrow, where to travel, what dreams to chase, how to grow together. Even in small, everyday choices, her presence is accounted for. She is no longer just someone who fills the present. She becomes part of the horizon he looks toward. Long-term thinking is not always expressed in grand statements. It often shows in subtle, consistent ways. It's in the way he introduces her to family, in the way he makes sacrifices to ensure her comfort, in the way he chooses stability over fleeting excitement. When she is the one, the thought of losing her is unbearable, and so the actions reflect a commitment to nurture, protect, and build. She is not an afterthought, she is the plan. A woman feels the difference deeply. As an option, she is excluded from the story of tomorrow. There is no we, only I as the one. She becomes part of every chapter. She notices how his words match his actions, how his promises stretch beyond the moment, how his choices reflect consideration for her presence in his life. The love she receives does not leave her uncertain because long-term vision creates security, stability, and purpose. Being part of a man's future is the ultimate sign of value. An option exists only for now, fleeting and replaceable. But the one becomes the anchor of his tomorrow, the reason he plans, the motivation to grow, and the heart behind every vision of the life he wants to build. Security is the deepest difference a woman feels when she is only an option versus when she is truly the one. When she is treated as an option, there is always a quiet uncertainty hanging in the air. She may never say it aloud, but inside she questions her place. His actions are inconsistent, his presence unreliable, and his words do not always align with what he does. Plans are fragile, easily broken, and reassurance rarely comes without her asking for it. She feels as though she must compete for attention, prove her worth, or fight to be seen. In this space, doubt becomes a constant companion because the foundation of safety is never built. No matter how much she gives, there is always the possibility of being replaced. But when she is the one, that uncertainty disappears. She does not have to ask for reassurance because it is already given through his actions. His consistency, his openness, and his devotion create an environment where she feels safe, not just physically, but emotionally. She knows where she stands because he makes it clear without needing reminders. Security flows from the way he prioritizes her, the way he protects her dignity, and the way he stands by her in moments of both strength and vulnerability. She never has to wonder if she matters because everything he does confirms it. This sense of security is not built on grand gestures or dramatic promises. It is built on daily choices. It's in the way he remembers what's important to her, the way he keeps his word, the way he shows up even when it's inconvenient. It's in the way he speaks of the future with her included, the way he makes her feel that she belongs, not temporarily, but permanently. In this safety, love flourishes because fear has no place to grow. A woman feels this difference in her soul. As an option, she is left uncertain, always questioning if tomorrow will look different, if her place will vanish without warning. As the one, she rests in certainty. She knows she is chosen not because she demanded it, but because his actions leave no room for doubt. Security is the quiet power that makes her feel irreplaceable, the assurance that she is not just part of his life for a season, she is part of it for a lifetime. When all the pieces are laid together, the contrast becomes undeniable. Being an option feels unstable, inconsistent, and shallow, while being the one is marked by certainty, respect, and devotion. The difference is never in the words spoken, it is always in the actions shown. Time, energy, vulnerability, long-term vision, and the steady assurance of security all weave together to reveal how deeply a woman is valued. Love that is real does not leave her questioning her worth. It makes her feel chosen without needing to ask. The truth is simple. When she is only an option, she will always feel it in the way she is treated. But when she is the one, there is no doubt, no confusion, no emptiness. Only the quiet strength of being seen, cherished, and prioritized in a way that speaks louder than any promise ever could.